So here we are, the day that the full body activations began in 2004, 4th of March 2004, 3rd of March 2004, the deep sleep started. 4th of March 2004, the birth came into being with the full body activations pulling through the Kundalini energy that was to be, and the divine energies that became known as Luxor Light. Why did I call it Luxor Light? That's a long story. You can either wait for the book, or you can read some other previous posts, or whatever, or I'll talk about it again at some point. But the, Luxor Light, the reason I gave the energy a name, because we could say, why label it, blah, 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 it's a divine energy, so on and so forth. But the reason that I labeled it is because these energies came through from my I am presence, from my, my soul purpose. And I didn't want people to have to search for me to be the guru, that you have to sit in my presence to receive these energies, and you have to keep coming for the rest of your life, and you can't have it unless you come and sit with me. So I had asked Spirit, how can I give this to the world so that they can do what I do, rather than how can I be known as the one that can do this. So I wanted everyone to be able to do it. So what happened on the 4th of April, 1 month from today, 1 month from the birthing, on the 4th of April, Spirit gave me a symbol. And that's another story about all of that. But anyway, it gave me the vehicle so that I could share this energy with the world and not be the only person that could do what I do, and to remove confusion when it comes to working with the soul purpose and the soul energies, in actual fact higher than the soul, the I am presence energies, and your mastery energies. So I removed myself, I didn't, and gave it a label so that we could know what energies we were talking about when, rather than just, oh, the energy is nice, the energy is this, or the energy is that, but that this particular energy has a particular purpose. Like all energies have a particular purpose. Each of you have a particular energy, and each of your energies have a particular purpose. So, and I just happened to ask the right questions of Spirit, and to be given the right answers from Spirit. However, our theme today is understanding your, what is it called? Understanding something. Understanding, I don't know. It's called something. Understanding your soul's, your soul, or whatever, your purpose, whatever. Tell me what it was and I can put it in. Anyway, it's understanding something, understanding the energy, understanding the soul's energies, and what the purpose is.
Yeah, understanding the power of soul, yes.
Thank you, Jen. So I just happened, not because I was so smart that I knew that I should ask these right questions. No, but just that in that particular time of my life, I was, without knowing, very open to my intuition, very in the flow, even though I was actually coming out of a dark night of the soul. So in fact, my deep sleep may have, that I entered into on the 3rd of March, that dragged me into the energy so intensely, and I woke up from on the 4th of April, like my whole body going absolutely crazy. And some of you have not seen the intensity of how those activations used to be. They were wild, man. But when that came through, I just happened to, so I birthed it through from the dark night. So what happens in the dark night? What happens when we're in depression? When we are fully in alignment with our soul's purpose and fully intent on carrying out the mission that we were born to do. what happens is seeds are planted in the dark. So if you are in the dark night or in a state of depression, it doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want. But when you go into those darker states, you are, in fact, you may feel like you are losing yourself. And you are. You're losing ego self. You're losing ego self. You feel depressed. You feel really in the dark. But there are seeds that are germinating because they're planted in the dark, and then they start to germinate. And the only way for them to grow is for them to reach up for the light. So we do it without knowing. For me personally, and this may resonate with you, I was in the dark night for several months. I can't remember exactly how long, but it had started in 2003 with a broken heart, and I was really struggling to keep myself up and above with it all. And but I was teaching colour therapy, and so one day a week I was, maybe more with the preparations and so on, but working with the colours of the light frequencies of colour and sound, I was keeping myself up. And so I was constantly striving to the light, consciously striving to the light, not oblivious to my dark night, which is the difference when you go into depression. Sometimes if you are oblivious, or if you choose to stay in the oblivion of it all, it takes longer. But if you are conscious, I knew I was depressed. I knew I was in the dark. And I was already measuring consciousness way back then, because I used to teach it way back in the years of my colour therapy, which was an intuitive thing that was given to me to teach. And so I was always measuring my consciousness, and really surprised to see that while I was in depression and dark night, I continued to grow in consciousness. It totally baffled me. I could not understand. I am so miserable, I am so dumb, I'm so blah, I'm so heavy, I'm so... and yet my consciousness kept rising. And because I must have gone down in the dark, so deep down, I obviously took that seed from somewhere. I took that seed from as the gift from the person who broke my heart. And I took that seed down, as far as I could go, until there was no other way. I couldn't bury myself any deeper. I'd obviously hit the core of the earth, and it was like, uh-oh, what now? And so then up was obviously when I was recognizing that I was rising in consciousness, and yet I knew I was still in the dark. But if you think about it, if you dig a very deep hole, and we do it to ourselves all the time, we dig ourselves very deep holes. We should learn just to dig shallow holes, but we dig ourselves very, very deep. And when you have dug yourself so very deep, and somehow or other you have managed to fill the hole, and you've totally suffocated yourself with the dirt and the crap and the stuff, ants and the worms, and that's what it feels like down there. Somehow or other, you can't breathe, you can't move, you can't breathe because you are so buried. And you feel like, I don't want to take this anymore. This is living hell. And somehow you start to diggy, up. And that seed is like going up, and then little leaves begin to sprout, and you begin to grow. So I had broken through the crack, the hard crust of the earth between the 3rd and the 4th of March 2004. And with that, what was on the leaves of my tree of life was Luxor light, which obviously had just a few little leaves, and it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And then more branches, as you know, we came along with Ametron Truth and, you know, the language of light and la 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 la, many things, many other branches came along the way as we continued to grow, continued to water and nurture that energy. And people came in and people became more branches of this energy. More little flowers sprouting out here and sprouting out there, and showing their own beautiful essence, and sharing that with the world. And as we know, we have flowers that blossom and then the flower dies and the seed falls down, and if it's lucky, it gets buried in the earth and it feels like shit, and it comes back up again when it's had enough. It becomes the dung beetle. So how I got to all of that, I don't know, but that's a brief story of Luxor Light, and I like it. So I have done the cards. Card number 1 for today, week 49. 49 becomes a 13. 13 is transformation. 13 is all or nothing. All or nothing. I want you to remember this. We are starting our new year into Luxor Light, into the work that we are here to do. Or, you know, whoever else takes on this energy, using this energy to move themselves forward. And 13 is all or nothing. You choose. You choose all, or you choose nothing. And it's your choice. So if you don't want to be stuck in the nothingness, and you want to choose all, choose all. You don't have to work at all. You can take it one step at a time. But it's a transformational energy, and it is a 4 and a 9. 4 is heart energy, and 9 is wisdom. So follow the wisdom of your heart, and don't do anything that doesn't feel like it is an energy of heart, from the heart, because true wisdom is in the energy. It is not in words, it's not in information, blah, blah, blah. It is in the energy. True wisdom is held within the energy. Follow the energy of the heart, and you will be in the space of true wisdom, and all of your wisdom, knowledge, information, energies, etc., that you are to take out into the world will permeate through and blast out through your heart, and you will be on your soul's pathway. That's how you can understand the energy of your soul. You have to understand yourself to understand the energy of your soul. So you don't have to understand anything at the level of the head. You only have to understand it through your feeling nature. So let go of the head stuff and just follow what feels right. If people laugh at you, if people say you're full of, you know, dung beetle, don't worry about it. Laugh with them. One of the things that I have done my whole life, even since a child and definitely into my adult years, long before I knew anything about me going to have a spiritual path, had no idea. I was just stepping one step of my life at a time in total oblivion. What is this world all about? Why am I here? There should be something more. Never ask those questions, by the way. But when I look back, I realized I lived those questions. I never asked them. I never thought them. They were just within me. But we move along in that sense. And really, it's just observing ourselves. Why do I not feel comfortable around other people? Why can I not enjoy myself at this party like this person does? Why do I come home and feel stupid because I talk too much? Why? Just don't go out again. But that's me personally, how I grew. I learned to understand I actually don't fit in that circle. I feel uncomfortable when I come home. I'm going to stay home and stay within myself. Never knew what I was doing. I did not know that what I was doing was going within myself and questioning myself without thought. I was questioning myself with heart. No thought about it at all, just feeling, 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 and just observing that I feel good in this circle, I feel good in this direction, I feel good here, I feel good here. All about feeling. That's the 4913 energy. Transformation through following the wisdom of the heart. So the first card of today is the Queen of Swords. Now, swords, as we know, I'm not talking about tarot in general, how anybody else reads tarot, whatever. I'm talking about what we know, symbology. When I use the cards, I'm not reading what any cards, pack of cards are supposed to do. I read purely the energy that comes through me. I read intuitively what comes through me through reading the symbolism of whatever is on whatever card, whatever pack, whatever deck, so on and so on. So, excuse me. We know that swords can be the sword of truth. So she's sitting here on her throne. She's arrived at that place of mastery because she's a queen. A queen resides in a level of degree of mastery over, a conglomerate of people, communities, whatever. So she's a queen. She's arrived into her place of mastery. And you can be drawn to this bird up here. And birds are always messengers of spirit. So she has the ability to receive messages of spirit all the time. She's holding her sword up strong, the sword of truth. She follows her truth because she always listens to her higher self and the messages that come to her through spirit, through her higher self. She keeps the thoughts down. She's above them. Clouds are thoughts. Her mind is above those lesser clouds. The wind is blowing below, so she's risen above all of that. She's above the storm. She's following her truth, and she's saying, there it is. Welcome. Come on. Here, it's all here. It's all ready to come, and I'm ready for it. Or she could also be saying, this is what is on offer to you. Take it, full steam, move ahead. The next card is the card number 9. And it says, find your backbone. You don't always have to bend over backwards to please other people. You don't have to do it at all, in fact. You don't have to bend over backwards to do anything. And if you are bending over backwards, it's your spine, right? Your spine is bent over. What is housed within our spine is our chakra system. The chakra system must follow nice and straight and be balanced. If you're bending over backwards all the time, your chakra system is going like this. And if, for instance, you are receiving the energy of the earth, the beautiful, vital, health-giving energies of the earth, and also this is the chakra system is your ladder of consciousness. It's the Antakarana channel. So it's the path of the initiate. To get from the earthly self that you are to your spiritual self, you have to climb the ladder of consciousness. But this ladder is just going up and I'll go back down, up and go back down. It can't go straight up because you're too busy bending over backwards for whatever and whatever, instead of standing straight and tall so that you can receive the energies and keep going. So it's find your backbone, stand tall, keep yourself in total alignment. Your chakra column must be in alignment. Number 9, again, is about wisdom. It's about purpose. And it's golden energy, which is wisdom. The wisdom is stand tall, stand true to yourself. She's saying, follow your truth. Stand straight, stand tall. Keep your chakras in alignment and always follow the path of the initiate. Mother Mary comes in and says, nurture yourself. So this is about self-love. Stop bending over backwards. Love yourself enough to do what is right for you. And Mother Mary is also saying she looks after the baby. She looks after the Christ child. She's saying, look after you, the Christ child, and then your Christ child, your mission, your purpose can be birthed and it can come forward. And the next card, Page of Air. It says logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. Now, I talked about this earlier today. So it's interesting that this has come up because it's about honesty and being truthful and being completely honest in yourself. And how can you understand the energy of lies that I wrote about this morning? I don't know why that popped in this morning, but it did. And we need to be totally honest with ourselves. You can't fool yourself for very long. You can try. You can deny all sorts of things. But the reality is you need to stay true. Now, when you're receiving all this information, this wisdom, this energy about your soul's purpose, so we're talking about understanding the energy of our soul's purpose and our energy, the information can be very challenging sometimes because, number one, you can't figure it out from a headspace. You cannot figure it out from the headspace. Believe me, I know, because I could not figure out what this energy was all about that was coming through me. And Spirit would give me one word, one single word, and I would have to totally embody the understanding of what does that word mean. And the only reason that I needed to know what that one word message was trying to convey to me was so that I could convey that message to others. And that was how I had the union happening between word and energy. Masculine is the word and energy is feminine. And sometimes the information can be very challenging to understand. So that's why we need to come back more about being in the observation and the feeling nature rather than trying to nut it out information-wise. So it's tapping back into the true wisdom of the energy. Now, very interesting that the next card that came out was number 22, the sacred mathematics of Luxor light, the Nile. And the Nile, look at the Nile as she flows so beautifully. Now, the Nile, so 22 is dare the mighty deeds you have never dared before. Get to understand your own energy. You've been too scared before, because what if I understand my energy and my energy is so powerful, like the current of the Nile, the current is so strong. What if your energy is so strong and so powerful that you actually become the queen, become the master of who you are? So this is saying dare to do it, because you will be pleasantly surprised at what comes through. So normally rivers flow in a particular direction, but not the Nile. No, not the Nile. The Nile, she has to flow the opposite direction, the only river in the whole world that flows in the opposite direction to every other river in the world. She does it her way, and I did it my way. And she flowed. She flowed down. She flows down from the base chakra to the crown. She flows from as one to there. She flows down. What is she bringing down? She is bringing down the higher self. She's bringing down the purpose. She's bringing down the wisdom. And so that can anchor it into yourself. But the Egyptian cards today didn't want just one card. So I accepted the two that came. First of all, it was the Nile. Number 22 is too significant to ignore, being the sacred mathematics of Luxor. and 22 being the master builder, the architect, the designer over your temple and your purpose. And the other card that flew out was number 10, 10 new beginnings, but it is Kefra. And Kefra is the dung beetle. It goes down in earth and goes down, or in the earth with his little roll and his dung, down. What does dung do? Dung is a fantastic fertilizer for seeds and for growth. So he loves to bury himself in the shit. Just like I said earlier, don't be afraid to bury yourself in the shit. You can't breathe because it stinks, let alone the fact that it's and you just can't get there. So what does he do when he can't anymore? He turns around and that seed is starting to, it looks like a little green poop or something. So he's going to take it back up to the light. And here he is, back up to the light, and becomes the enlightened being with his halo above his head. So you can see step by step, we're being told what to do. And you will understand it in the way that you need to understand it for you. And I'm portraying it to you in whatever jargon is coming out of my mouth, just because I'm not thinking about it. Now, the next card is an interesting one, given that, because when it came out, I went, oh, really? Did I finish on that note? I don't like that. But it's not up to me. It's the card that came out. And this morning, just reading your note, Sylvia. This morning, I wrote that post about understanding the energy of the lie. And how if somebody's telling you something, trying to convince you of something, but your mind is scrambled, nothing makes sense, it's a lie. There is something, an untruth, there is something that's not quite right in there. It's holding the energy of the lie. And sometimes this is what happens with ourselves. We're doing it ourselves. And again, we had that card, challenging information, truths delivered without tact, or delays and changes to plan, which will happen. Delays and changes to plan are going to happen if we act according to a lie. So if we are a bit confused about the information that's coming through and we can't really figure it out, so we just go, oh, just do it this way or whatever. It's a lie that is coming through. It's not going to feel right. And this card, the card at the end, is also saying the same thing. The fox. The fox is sly. He's sly. Don't listen to the roundabouty information that's like, oh, well, da-di-da-di-da. No, you need absolute truth. Absolute truth. So if you are not receiving absolute truth, and this is not necessarily outside of yourself, okay, we're talking about ourselves here. If you are not understanding the truth of yourself, if you're not able to fully embody that and understand, and you're feeling confused and you don't know which direction to go, it means that you have not fully understood yourself. So as opposed to a lie, more or less, you could be lying to yourself, okay? You could be, yes, it's the trickster. You could be lying to yourself. So the trickster energy is within you. If you're confused, it's like, my life is just not coming together. It's you're tricking yourself. Stop. Be still. Get out of the head. Get into the heart. Follow the wisdom of the heart. And when you follow the wisdom of the heart, everything will then flow just beautifully and powerfully like the Nile. But if you follow the energy of the trickster, which is your mind, you're going to bend over backwards for everybody else. You're going to want to keep them happy. You're going to want to be seen as the nice person. You're going to want to be seen as the one that gives. You want to be seen and receive the titles of, oh, whatever. But when you stay absolutely true to yourself and you follow the wisdom of your heart, other people might go, what a selfish person. You know, they don't do anything. They just do everything for themselves. But the reality is you have to forget about that. You have to forget about what other people are going to say because they're living in the veil, under the veil of illusion. And you have to follow the wisdom of your heart. And you are never going to arrive into the place of truth until you start listening to the wisdom of the heart. And then you understand the energy. Is that what the title is today? And transformation has taken place. And boom, bang, you're born again and again.